we're hearing further details today around the controversial Indigenous voice to Parliament. Of course, the details are that there are none. I mean, the Albanese government says it will not introduce legislation on a proposed model for the voice until after Australians go to a referendum. I mean, if you can believe it, this bloke wants you to cast your vote without providing the detail on exactly what it is you're meant to be voting for. It's incredible. But joining me now is former National President of the Australian Labor Party, Warren Mundine. Warren, great to have you on the show. Don't the Australian people deserve the right to know what they're actually voting on?
They do, but I just want to give my condolences and prayers to the Queensland police officers and those officers and their families after, last night's shooting. It was a dreadful situation, and we got to thank God for our police who go out every day and work hard for us. Now, in regard to the voice, is that I just find the whole thing just bizarre. It's like, we've got to have this voice, we've got to make things better for Indigenous people, and that can close the gap and everything. It's going to be like the panacea for all ills for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. But we're not going to tell you what it is, They keep on raving on about, we did this 280-page report, but we're not going to tell you what we're actually going to be doing for the voice. So here we are supposed to be going to be changing our constitution, over, we don't need to know that information. We'll just tick it off. Give me a break.
It's essentially a blank check. They're going to insert something into the Constitution, say don't worry about what that means and how it's going to impact things. The Parliament will sort this out, which means basically Labor and the Greens will have their way on it, and the Australian people won't really get a say at all. The only sensible thing to do in the face of that is to vote no, isn't it?
Well, it is. I'm not going to be voting for something that I don't know what it is. It's sort of like a used car salesman and says, look, I've got a car in the garage. You're not allowed to look at it, but give me $30,000 and it's yours. Give me a break. I don't know what that car's like. And also, I think in the last couple of weeks we've seen, just how vicious that the supporters of the yes are. We had Noel Pearson coming out and having a disgraceful, misogynist attack on Jacinta Nampijira-Price, and it was just dreadful, and yet all the left, all the lovies out there just ignored it. And then within 24 hours you had Anthony Dillon, who was abused and attacked in the Qantas lounge over the same issue. And then not long after that, you had Marcia Langton coming out and accusing and bringing up the word eugenics, which we haven't heard since the 1930s and 40s. The whole thing is just bizarre.
It is bizarre, and the fact that they're so shrill about it and attacking those who dare question their authority, people like you, suggest that they've got a heck of a lot to hide. Hey Warren, can we jump into a related but different topic? Unions today are seeking financial compensation for Indigenous staff at universities. Apparently the people there are saying that they're being relied on for cultural work outside their job description, such as sitting on committees, acknowledgements of country and so on. I mean, the question here is, should those who are employed in institutions that are Indigenous take on as a matter of pride these sorts of procedures or these sorts of ceremonies, or do they deserve compensation for it in addition to what they already get paid?
Well, look, us in the private sector, we believe in issues and that too. But we get out there and sit on committees and help things happen, and we donate our time for free. Look, I really feel sorry for academics, sitting in those universities and sitting at their desk and thinking of critical race theory and all these other things that victimhoods for Aboriginal people. Look, I really do feel sorry for them that they've then got to go out and promote Aboriginal culture and promote Aboriginal ideas, and they want to be paid for it. This is just, to me, it's a whole monetary issue. All they do is want to be, just ask for more and more money.
Well, this is part of the problem, and a lot of people like me are a bit sceptical of it, because If you want to use Aboriginal place names in councils, for example, you've got to pay money. You want to have an acknowledgement or a welcome to country, you've got to pay money for it. I mean, don't we have too much of this stuff, or is that too much of an insult for those people who just say, thank you, I respect Aboriginal culture, but I really don't want it thrust down my throat every moment of every day?
Well, it just shows how silly people have become, you know. I've been to a lot of these welcome country ceremonies, and, half of them are really good and fantastic. The other half, you're sort of sitting there wondering, why did we have this? It was just, just a nonsense. And look, now I'm looking forward to the day just to that they will give me reparation and money just for being an Aboriginal person. I can't wait for that to happen.
It won't be too long, Warren. I suspect you won't take it, mate. They are having acknowledgement of country in corporate meetings right through Sydney, in boardrooms as we speak right now. They're having an acknowledgement of country. It's going crazy. And before I let you go, apparently 2 out of 3 Indigenous souvenirs are fakes. The Productivity Commission's come out today saying Indigenous communities are being denied revenue for an arts and craft market they estimate is worth $250 million. Right? If you're a collector of art, you want the real thing. We should be prioritising legitimate Indigenous works of art over fakes. But aren't people entitled to paint craft in any style that they choose to? And it's up to the buyer to decide whether they want the real thing or something that maybe resembles something authentic?
Well, look, you're right. But also at the same time, if a person, it's not only the Aboriginal people, but it's also the customer, if they're expecting to get a genuine Aboriginal art piece or, a carving or whatever by an Aboriginal person, then they should be, should be straight up. It should be, yes, this is authentic, or it's not. No, it's done by someone else. And then people can make that choice. But but selling people objects and art and pretending it's Aboriginal, it's just like anything. If you want to buy something, then you should be buying the thing that you want.
Yeah, exactly right. The fakes in art have been around as long as art itself, and people need to do their own record checking. Warren Mundine, you are the voice of common sense. It's always great to have a word with you. So thanks for joining me on Credlin tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.